Hello everybody. I'm really happy to welcome you to our first English edition of Schwarzwälder and Butterkuchen, which is my people talk. And normally I host this talk in German. But today it's in English because my guest is from Ireland. And I'm really happy that we are having the topic Black Women in European business. So please welcome Gloria Efemini. How I said, she is from Ireland and she is an investment banker based in Ireland, but originally from Nigeria. Hello, dear Gloria.
Hello, Florence. Thank you so much for having me. Really excited to be with you today. And I'm looking forward to a very vibrant discussion with you. And let's get it started.
Yes, let's get started. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy. I know that you are in London at the moment. So
Yes, I am.
you just took your time to come into my talk.
Yeah.
And Black women in European business. This is what we call, or I call, our topic today. And you're originally from Nigeria. Can you tell us which city is called home?
Okay. I'm from a place called Benin City in Edo State in Nigeria. So for Nigerians, they will know Edo State as the heartbeat of the nation.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm from originally, although I lived in Lagos as well for a long time before I moved to Ireland. So home will be Benin City in
Mhm.
Nigeria.
Mhm. Lagos, you know that I lived in Lagos as well when I was small. I
Yes,
was
yes,
9 years old, so as a kid.
yeah,
Although I was born in Germany, so Lagos for me is not home, but for you, Nigeria is home.
yes.
So, what made you come to Ireland? How long did you stay in Nigeria, actually?
So I was in Nigeria up until 18 years ago. So I actually moved to Ireland 19 years, April. I've been 19 years in Ireland. I came to
Wow.
Ireland in 2006.
Mhm.
So I've been here since then, and I go home. I'm a home bird, so I go home every year.
Mhm.
So once minimum a
Mhm.
year, I'll go home.
Mhm.
But Ireland is my home now as well
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I've
I
been
mean
here
you are
for,
Irish
yes, I'm Irish.
by now, yes. But let's go back or stay a little bit in Nigeria. You were born there, you went to school, you went to university. Just tell us a little bit about your life there.
Okay. So I was born in this beautiful town called Benin City as well. I had my primary education, secondary education, and my university education in Benin. So I
Mhm.
went to the prestigious University of Benin where I had my first degree in English language and literature. Then I had an MBA, Masters in Business Administration. And when I started my work life, my career, I moved to Lagos because Lagos is more cosmopolitan. So it's always the grass is greener in the big city. So I moved to Lagos where I kickstarted my banking career.
Mhm. But at that time, Lagos wasn't the capital anymore, was it?
No, Abuja was the capital, but then Lagos was still the financial hub, was still the like the business hub till today. Everything, most things happen in Lagos. Most of the big banks, we have their presence, multinational companies, they're all in Lagos. So if
Mhm.
you're from my town in Benin City and you have your eye on the ball, you will go to Lagos to have more opportunities. So I moved to Lagos then to get more opportunity
Mhm.
because I was interested in banking. Hence, you see, I had my first degree in English language and literature. Then I
Mhm.
went on to have a master's in business administration to set the stage for my career in banking. And I've been in banking since then.
Mhm, mhm. So, when you moved from Benin City to Lagos, I guess your parents gave you lots of pieces of advice. I know that Nigerian parents, or let us say all parents do that, but
Yeah,
Nigerian parents, they also like to do that, isn't it?
yes, yes. They did, certainly, especially my brother. My parents were even um, less scared of my move. It was more my older brother. He was really, my older brother is a homeboy. For people who know him, they know that. He really didn't want me to move to Lagos. He was like, oh, you stay in Benin. We're all here. We'll protect you. If anything happens, you have us here. But if you go to Lagos, I won't be there to protect you. I said, don't you worry, I'll look after myself. And God will look after me as well. So I was determined to move to Lagos, and I moved to Lagos, and I started my job then in a bank called First Atlantic. That's where I started my banking career.
Mhm.
And from there, I never went back home to live, more or less. I go home now to visit, not
Mhm.
to live anymore since I made that move
Mhm. Mhm.
decades ago.
Yeah. So we don't want to talk about age because we are ladies, and ladies don't want to talk about their ages or
Yeah,
age. But so 19 years ago, you went to Ireland. What
yes.
made you move to Ireland? Why Ireland and not America, for example?
Good question. That's a very good question, Florence. So there's so many parts to me. So my personal life brought me to Ireland. A relationship brought me to Ireland. Yes, you're surprised. So a relationship brought me to Ireland, a relationship I believed in at the time, which unfortunately didn't go as planned. However, that did not deter me from becoming who I am in Ireland today.
Mhm.
So that relationship failed, but I opted to stay in Ireland and just build my life there.
Wow, wow. But I mean, what a strength. You went to Ireland because of a personal relationship, so
Yes,
your boyfriend or husband,
yeah,
and you were two people, two black people in this white community, and then how you said it failed, but still you stayed in you stood in Ireland and started your own life.
yes.
So can you just yeah, share this a little bit with us? What was hard? I guess it was hard, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was hard. Navigating that labyrinth at the time was really hard, but I had a good support system.
Mhm.
As you may or may not be aware, I have adult children. I have three adult sons and a nephew as well, who is like my son, who were all living with me at the time.
Mhm.
And they were my strong support system. And the relationship I was in wasn't really, another time we'll talk about that, but all you need to know that it wasn't great.
Mhm.
So it was in my best interest to be out of it. And I came out of it and I never looked back. And I just decided to remain focused on my goal and just keep doing what I'm doing. So in Ireland again, I I found joy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
after that darkness. So I
Mhm.
just put that all behind me. So yeah,
Mhm.
at a
Mhm.
very high level, that's my personal life.
Yeah. So when you came to Ireland, apart from this relationship, did you start work immediately?
I was one of the very lucky persons that came to Ireland. So when I came to Ireland, I met some friends. Like I said, this relationship brought me, so I didn't have to go through the whole rigmarole of looking for legalizing my state because that person had all that to enable me stay legally in Ireland.
Mhm.
And I made a friend who said to me, "Oh no, Gloria." She actually came to my house when I was unpacking. I brought all my suits in Lagos. As a banker in Lagos, you wear a lot of. You're very formal in your dressing. So I brought all my formal clothes, and she said, "Why do you have those clothes?" I said, "I have them because I'm planning to start my job here again." And use this because say, "Oh, you're never going to get a job in the bank here. Forget it. As a black person, it's not going to happen."
Mhm.
I looked at her and said, "Well, I'm going to get a bank job. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm going to get a bank job here because that's my profession and I'm not just going to throw it away without trying." So, with that determination, I started looking for that opportunity.
Mhm.
But having said that, I have to give credit to someone who was pivotal to that happening. So, I started a church, and the pastor in that church was a partner in Deloitte and Touche, a very progressive Nigerian. And I said the same thing to him. You know, the first day you go to church, the pastor wants to welcome you, know you. And I told him a little bit about myself. I said, "Look, I'm a banker in Nigeria and I've come here. One of my goals is to continue in my career." And he said, "Of course you can do it. I know a few banks because I'm an auditor. I know a few banks where I go to audit where I can see that they're a very diverse bank, and I'm going to give you the names."
Mhm. Mhm. Wow.
Yeah,
So this is something that I think is very typical. We have to have people who support us.
yeah,
It can't go
absolutely,
without supportive people, right?
absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. So once he said that to me, he didn't just say it and leave me.
Right?
So I went online. In Nigeria, you don't look for jobs online, but in Ireland, another thing I had to learn was you look for job online. So I
Right.
went online and I saw this opportunity. I applied straight away. I didn't even think twice about it. It looked right. I put in my CV and I was shortlisted. And I called this same good friend who's now like a father figure to me. He's not much older than me in age, but in terms of the kind of support he gave me at the time and he still gives me, he was like a father figure to me. So I rang him again and said, look, I got shortlisted for this job in this bank. What should I do? Because I've been told, oh, you can't get a job in the bank. They won't take you. You actually have to say you want to volunteer and all that. And he said to me, I know that bank. I've gone there to do some work. They're a very diverse bank. I see a lot of Black people when I go there. So he just encouraged me. I said, go for it. Don't be intimidated. You go. So I didn't know my way around Ireland. And I called this friend as well to say, look, I need to get to this place for this interview. And she said, but Gloria, I've told you to forget about this bank. They're never going to take you.
So who said that?
So this was the friend who kept trying to
Oh my
dissuade.
God. Why did
Yeah,
she do that?
um, because at the time, everyone had that self-limiting belief. They
Yes.
just believed they couldn't do it. So those jobs are not for Black people. They were not for people like us. But I didn't listen to her. I went for the interview. I went to look for the place. She didn't want, I wanted her to take me. She refused to take me. And I went. When I got to the bank, it was a bit different from the bank I was used to in Nigeria, big structure, because it was an investment bank. I was coming from a commercial bank. But I went for the interview, put my best foot forward, talked about myself as I'm talking to you now. They asked me questions. It was all competency based. Tell me about the time you did this. Tell me how you did that, trying to know my strength and everything. And I spoke as I would speak based on what I knew. And they told me there was going to be a second stage of the interview. I said, okay, no problem. You hear from HR, no problem. So the
Mhm.
interview ended and I went home. On my way home, this was about 11 a.m. or thereabouts. As I got to the city center, about an hour later, my phone rang and it was the HR girl. And she said to me, oh, how did the interview go? I said, well, from my perspective, I think it went well, but I don't know about the interview. And they did say to me, I'll be doing a second round. And she said, okay, all right. What would you say if I say you've been given the job? I did a double flip. Given the job? How? He said I was going to do a second round of interview. She said, no, you've been given the job and we're going to send you your contract. Because it came so easy, it was too good to be true.
Yes.
I kind of started second guessing until that contract came.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations. And what
Thank
did your
you.
friend say then? Did you tell
Oh,
her?
when I got home and I told her I got the job, she confessed to me later that she did not believe. She did not believe because when I said I got the job, it just sounded too good to be true. And when they sent the contract and I showed it to her, she was shocked. Said, you actually got the job. I got the contract a few days later. The contract didn't come as an email, it came as a hard copy, big envelope. And she was living just like 3 minutes walk from me. And I ran to her house and I showed her. And she confessed to me that she didn't really believe that I got the job. And I got it.
So you believed in yourself. This is a
Absolutely.
so strong message. We have to
Yeah,
believe in ourselves. We have to believe in what we want. And
exactly.
sometimes we don't get it immediately, but perhaps the second or third try will make it happen. So
Exactly.
you started this job and you said lots of Black people worked there or still work there. I don't know whether you are still in that job, but was it something difficult still, although Black people worked there? Were there white people as well?
Oh, yes, there were more white people than Black people. Interestingly, there were Black people, but I noticed when I started work there that the Black people would isolate themselves and they would be very negative and just not seeing anything good about what was going on. So I had to also say to myself, I don't want negative energy.
Mhm.
I've come to this place, I just want to do my best because okay, another point I have to make to you. So I had to go back to the very start of the ladder. I didn't get the job at the same level I was back home,
Mhm.
which was understandable because I didn't have any experience in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And them giving me that opportunity, I had to prove myself.
Mm-hmm.
I must admit to you, I had to prove myself. But in proving myself, I ensure that I had no self-limiting beliefs. I always believed in my capability and in my ability. And I went in with that attitude. You just asked an interesting question. You don't know if I'm still there. And I'm still there. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still in that company. And it's been a great opportunity. And right now, I'm mentoring a lot of younger people in that same organization. When I said there were lots of Black people there at the time, it's relative, a lot in the sense that you could see like two or three Black persons. I was the second Black female in that place. The
Mm-hmm.
first female I met, she left. She
Oh,
left a few months after I came. She went to another bank, another
okay.
investment bank. But now, when you come to that building, you can't count. I've lost count. I don't even know how many Black people are there. We are so well represented there now. You could actually see that though the bank is a very diverse bank, it's actually showing once you come in now, there's so many Black people,
Mm-hmm.
male, female, which really gladdens my heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And these
Do
are all
you?
young people, by the way. So young people are they're more adventurous. They take more risk. No
Mm-hmm.
one's going to tell them, oh, they don't take Black people, so they will cow
Mm-hmm.
because they studied here. Some of them were born here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my own son worked in my organization as well.
Okay.
Here,
Okay.
he worked briefly after college,
Mm-hmm.
but he left.
Do you think it's typical female to have this self-limiting thoughts and to think this can't happen, this won't happen? Do you experience the same way of thinking by your male Black colleagues?
Well, if you look at imposter syndrome, it's more with women. It's known both across Black or white.
Mhm.
If you look at the corporate world, is male dominated because sometimes female try to think we can't do as much as our male counterparts.
Mhm.
When there's a job specification, a male can tick five of the boxes if there are 10 boxes, and they'll put their CVs there. But a female will want to tick all 10 boxes. In trying to do that, we just edge ourselves out of the equation. So I think it's more of a female thing, that self limitation, thinking I'm not good enough, I can't do it. Males will be more daring,
Mhm. Mhm.
more daring. I've seen my male colleagues putting themselves forward for things they don't even have half as much knowledge as us, the females,
Right.
but they just want to go. They're not scared of making mistakes.
Mhm. Mhm. That's
So
right.
but we want to make sure we have all our ducks in a row before we go out there because we don't want criticism. We don't want people to think we're not good enough. But when you keep doing that, you're not going to grow. You have to have a growth mindset.
Mhm. Mhm.
You just
Exactly.
need to,
Exactly.
yeah.
When I talk to foreign people, so people who, when I think of our German perspective now, and I just want to ask you whether in Ireland it's the same. When I talk to people abroad and ask them whether they would like to come to Germany and work here, lots of them say, no, the reputation is not that good anymore, and we think of racism and so on. Is something like this also being experienced in Ireland? Do you talk to people, let's say in Nigeria, for example, and do they also fear in coming to Europe or to Ireland?
Yeah, that's normal. It's normal when you are culturally different. Racism is everywhere. There's institutional racism, some that you can't just wipe away. However, it's more pronounced in some places than others, And one thing I've come to realize is when you're looking for racism, you're going to find it.
Oh, that's a good sentence. That's right.
You are going to find it. So sometimes you just have to rise above that and let your skills, your know-how speak for you. I have a mentor where I work, and she said to me, Gloria, I don't see you as a Black woman. I just see you as an intelligent colleague
Mhm.
that I can have a good conversation with, I can discuss issues with, that we can talk about strategies. I don't see you as a Black woman.
Mhm.
You understand? That is because I have no portrayed, I'm not projecting myself that I'm a Black woman because my brain is not Black. If you remove this head, the brain is all the same. So when I'm working, I'm using my brain. It doesn't mean that unconscious bias is not there. People tend to favor people who look like them. So there will be one or two persons who will want to discriminate against you just because you're not like them. But are you going to let that consume you? No. If you do, you're setting yourself up to fail. What you want to do is rise above that. Show your strength. Show your strength in a way that when that discrimination happens, it becomes glaring. And they will be the ones to defend themselves, not you. Because you have done your part to show that you deserve your place at the table.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Have you experienced racism?
Oh, yes, I have. I have.
How
If I
have you
told you I
dealt with it?
haven't, would you believe me?
Excuse me? Come
If
again?
I told you I haven't, would you believe me?
Well, as I don't live in Ireland, I would ask you, really? That's what I would ask.
In Ireland, it might not be as pronounced. Don't forget, Ireland is an English-speaking country.
Yes.
So the kind of racism in Germany might be different. What people might tend to be racism in Germany could be the language barrier. First of all, you don't speak the language. There's already that barrier between you and that person. And then also, because the nuances, if a German person is speaking, the nuance of the tone could make the person sound aggressive, whereas that is just a part of the nuance of the language, not because the person set out to be, and you don't understand the language, straight away you're on the defensive. But when you're in a place where there's mutual intelligibility, you speak, I understand, we speak the same language, it's easy for me to know how you feel about me or what you feel about me, and to also let you know how I feel about how you feel about me. It's a two-way traffic, if you
So
understand.
language is something that made it easy for you
Exactly.
to settle down in Ireland.
Absolutely. So when I came to Ireland, okay, put it in perspective. If I came to live in Germany as a banker from Nigeria, I'm going to have to learn the language first
That's right. Yeah.
before anybody will offer me an interview or shortlist me. Then if I go to work there, I will need to understand the language, the technicality of the language to the point I understand what I'm doing. Whereas coming from Nigeria, where we speak English, is the official language in Nigeria. So I see people interestingly saying to me in Ireland, "Oh, you speak such good English." Of course I do. We speak English in Nigeria.
That's
It's
it.
the official language,
Yes.
everyone speaks English. So that in itself was a positive for me, was a plus. So I could go right in and just get moving. Whereas if I came to Germany or Belgium or France, I would have to learn the language, and that would set me back some years.
Yes.
I got to Ireland, look at it, I got to Ireland in April of 2006, and I got my job on May 11th, same year.
Wow. You see, and that really made it easier.
Yes,
So when I think of the Black people, and I guess lots of Nigerians are in Ireland. I think it
yes.
started like 2000. Lots of Nigerians went to Ireland. So from my perspective, I think there must be a big Nigerian or let's say African community. Is that so? Do the people stick together, help each other? I mean, we've learned from your friend who didn't believe in you, but how is the community in Ireland, the Irish community, the Nigerian community?
There's a very big Nigerian community, and it's quite cohesive. It's quite cohesive because you have, as you know, Nigeria, there's so many ethnic groups in Nigeria. So you have the Yorubas, you have the Igbos, you have the Edos. So they kind of have those sub communities, even in Ireland. You see the Yoruba people having their own kind of group, the Igbos having their own community, and the Edos having their community. Having said that, there's still that cohesion. There's still that cohesion because first, we're all Nigerians. That's the primary thing binding us. So there's that commonality. Then if you now drill down, then you now see people that are from the northern part of Nigeria, the east, the west, and the south. that is there. There's a strong Nigerian community in Ireland, I have to say to you, very strong, very strong.
That's good. That's good. And I
It's
think,
or maybe I say growing Nigerian community is still growing
yeah.
because Nigerians are still coming. Like I have two nieces who came to do their masters a few years ago. They never went back. They got jobs afterwards because the government now give them, if you complete your education, they give you a visa to stay if you get a job. And they got jobs, very good jobs. They got husbands, they got married, they've got kids now, they bought houses. Things are a lot easier now. Government is giving that support for young people to buy their own homes. So it's a lot different now from how it was when I came in
Yeah, back in
almost 2
2000.
decades ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. When you compare, and you just started to share this with us, when you compare your start in Ireland to the life the younger people, so let me say the second generation, the kind of life they live now, do they consider Nigeria as home, or is Ireland their home? Lots of them are born or were born in Ireland.
So that will in part depend on the family background. Some of our Nigerian parents, they're very conscious of the fact that we have to wear our heritage as a badge of honor. They inculcate that in their children and they make them remember where they're from. However, these children, they were born here, they live here, they have friends here. So for them, Ireland is their home.
Yes.
Ireland is their home. That's why sometimes when certain things happen and people show them open hostility, like it confuses them. They don't understand because this is the home they know. They still know they like my children know we're from Nigeria. We go home, we do things at home. But if you tap my children and say, where are you from? They're going to say Ireland because that's the life they've known and that's the life they've embraced. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the same here too. I mean, when you ask someone was born here, where are you from? Most of the people say, I'm from Germany. I'm
Yeah.
German. Yeah.
Just
Or
like yourself.
Nigerian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
that's
true.
how it is. Home is where your heart is. It's cliched, you know, home is where your heart is. But that's so true. That's so true. When I'm going to Nigeria now, though Nigeria is my home, but I book my flight with a timeline. I'm going 2 weeks and I'm coming back because this is my home.
Yes.
A
Yes.
colleague was asking me the other day, Gloria, are you ever going to go back to Nigeria? I said, as we speak now, I would say no, but I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
That's true.
Things happen. We don't know the future. Right now, my children are all here. Everything I own is here. Most things I own, they're here. But I have family in Nigeria as well. You know, so ask me the same question in 10 years' time, my answer could be different.
Yes, yes, that's true. We never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So, what would you say was the most difficult thing for you as a Black woman to settle down in Ireland? And what was just joyful and very easy?
One of the things that was so difficult was the stereotyping. When I came to Ireland, a lot of Irish people had this perception of Africans, I won't just say Nigerians, as being second class, which was wrong. Which was wrong. They needed to know us. They needed to get to know us because when I interact with them, when I work with them, they're like, "Oh my God, Gloria, I didn't realize." There's always that light bulb moment. They're now seeing I'm more than they think. I worked with a manager who said to me the first time ever he saw a Black person, he was already 16. So would you blame him if he had negative perception of Black people? You can't blame him because it was what he knew. So I didn't like that stereotype, especially somebody saying to me, "Oh, you speak very good English." I just felt that was a bit condescending. Why wouldn't I speak English? Why would you be surprised that I speak English? You know? However, on the flip side, I like the fact that I met some people that were very welcoming, that were really welcoming. I have very, like my daughter, her godmother is Irish,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
She is amazing. If you ask me to count my friends in Ireland, she'll be top on. I actually named my daughter after her, except that my sons were fighting me. Oh, the name sounded ancient. Their sister is not ancient, but it was the strength of my friendship with her that I actually wanted to name my daughter after her. She was so good to me. She was so welcoming.
Mhm.
Before I moved to Ireland, I've been traveling to the UK on holidays. I've been traveling to America. So I didn't just leave Nigeria and come straight to Ireland. I traveled the world. I've
Okay,
been to
that's good.
Germany. So when I came to Ireland, I was able to do a comparison. The Irish people were really friendly.
Mhm.
So that was that was a good thing for me. But the
Mhm.
fact that somewhere that stereotype, oh, you're a black person, so therefore you have to behave in a certain way, that really didn't go down well with me, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. But all that is behind now.
Mhm. So, have you got the feeling that you, in your area, in your business area, you opened doors and you left these doors open for other Black females to enter these doors and to go through these doors?
Absolutely. That might sound vain to some people, but it's the reality. I've seen, like I said to you, I mentor a lot of those young people in my office. And I have some friends that are managers. They say, "Oh, Gloria, I interviewed somebody yesterday. She reminded me so much of you,"
Mhm.
which is positive.
Yeah.
If I had, if I created a bad impression, that would bar all of them from coming. But because I was able to go there and give a good account of who we are as a people, I represented my race very well. That is the reason that today there are so many Black people
Yes.
in my office, in my organization.
Mhm. Mhm.
When you come now, like I said to you, when I joined, we were two females and maybe
Mhm.
about four males because we would sit together to have lunch. And when I saw they were a bit negative, I just stopped that. But now we're so many. In the lift, I see someone, oh, this is a Black girl. I was walking on my floor 2 days ago. I saw a Black girl sitting there. She probably just started. In my team, there's a Black girl. So it's just so diverse now. At my office, I have to say, it's a very inclusive place as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, so I want to believe that I contributed in some ways in opening those doors for those younger people to come
Mhm.
in.
Mhm. That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. So, what kind of vision do you have? We have this question, what would you love to see in 5 years? But I don't want to ask that. Have you got a life vision that you would like to share with us?
Yes, I want to see a future where my daughter will not experience those challenges I experienced, like trying to prove myself,
Mhm.
because I had to work twice as hard as my Irish counterpart to prove that I deserve what I was getting. I want a future where it's equal opportunity, whether you're Black or white. Come in, show your skills, show your know how, and get the same opportunity. That is my vision. And if I can do anything to make that happen, I'll be a happy person,
Oh,
you
yes.
know? Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing all these experiences with us. It was, for me, it was really interesting because
Thank
I
you for
see
having
this
me.
from, from this outer view. Yeah, I know Ireland, I've been to Ireland, but speaking to a person coming from Nigeria, living in Ireland, and listening to these experiences was wonderful. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for that.
Thank you, Florence. I'm really, really delighted that I've been able to come on this show with you. And I wish you all the best in your future talks. And I hope you get other people that will share other perspective. This is my perspective. Of course, there'll be different perspective. Other people have different experiences that they will share. And then I'll be looking out for your other shows. So I get to hear other people's perspective as well. So I can learn. I'm just a lifelong learner. I keep learning. I forgot to say to you now, even right now, I'm studying. Like
Oh,
my friends
yes,
will say,
that's true. That's
why
true.
you studying? You can get more money. I say it's not about money, it's about the knowledge. Knowledge is power. You know, you can't change what you feel is not right when you don't have the knowledge. So I'm just so eager to learn. So right now I'm doing a doctorate study, which I'm enjoying very well. It's very intense. I have no social life right now, but I'm enjoying it and I'm doing it. I'm schooling full time, which means I school it's online. So once I come back from work, I'm schooling and I'm working full time. And I tell you, it's been so interesting because it's a doctorate. There's a lot of crossover between what I do at work because it's very business focused. So everything I do at work, I'm like, it's always, oh my God, this is what I'm seeing now. A lot of modules I'm taking on leadership, on managing diversity, on mentoring. It's just been really, really enriching for me.
So this is
And I hope to
also,
pass on this knowledge to other people as well.
yeah, and this is some part of your vision. When will
Yeah.
this doctorate, when will you finish it?
Um, all things going well, I should finish next year.
Okay.
If I continue at this pace, I should finish next year. But like I said to you, it's very intense. It's
Oh,
very, very
yes.
intense. I don't want to say it's challenging. It's very intense, but I love it. I'm happy. It's kept me really busy because my kids are all grown up. They've all left
Mhm.
the nest. My daughter is still at home, but she's in a boarding school. So when I come back from work, I have all the time. And this is me giving back to myself. And I'm really, really enjoying it. And looking forward to the next steps after the course
Yes. So
next
we will
year.
keep our fingers crossed.
Of
And
course, of course.
next time, when everything is over and you have succeeded, then you will be my guest again.
Absolutely. I will be delighted to come back. So come back and tell you about the evolution since today, how
That's
things
it.
have evolved. Yes,
That's right.
that'll be my pleasure, Florence.
So thank you very much, and thank you too for listening or watching. It's not only listening, it's also watching. So if you have any questions or you would like to comment on something, just please comment below because we will read it, we will answer. And if you want to ask Gloria a question, just do so because she is going to answer all your questions that you have. And I'm sure we will have another guest very soon here on the show called Schwarzwälder und Butterkuchen, which is a German talk, but we do it in English. So have a good time. My name is Florence, and see you soon. Bye.